All right, so the next speaker is Professor Yuting Zhu. She's from National University of Singapore. She's an assistant professor of marketing there. She got PhD of management from MIT, Sloan School of Management. Her research ranges from quantitative marketing to the analytical models like game theory. But she's one of the rising stars, the intersection of marketing and machine learning, deep learning. So she's got a bunch of research around application of machine learning, the different aspects of marketing. So today she's going to share our new research about application of deep learning-based recommendation systems to the salespeople. So how to help salespeople using the recommendation system based on the deep learning. So please welcome Yuting.
Thank you, Christopher, for the nice introduction. Thank you for having me here. So in the next 25 minutes, let's discuss something about machine learning and also sales force management, specifically sales perspective. So sales is very expensive. So here I give you one data, which is based on 2019. Let's not look at the COVID times. So this figure counts the company annual spending in North American companies on 3 important marketing functions: sales, traditional marketing, and digital marketing. As you can see, which one is the most expensive? I don't need to show, right? Okay, so as we talk about, so for business, what I learned is say, okay, so it's either about revenue, let's increase that, or let's cut the cost. If we look at sales, they are generating the revenue, but they're super expensive. Okay, that's from the company perspective. Then if we look at from the society, okay, look at the labor force. Sales is also a big portion of the labor force, right? Why? Because no matter your background, you can always come to the sales occupation. And you always have the potential. You can do a good job and earn lots of money from this job. Oh, such a great job. But when we talk about sales, we are feeling, oh my God, I'm afraid of this job. Because it's not that easy to get started. So here I offer you one data. It's from the company we work with for this study. So this is, give you some background. This is an insurance company. This is in mainland China. So basically, their salespeople, they need to do the sales prospecting themselves. That is, the company do not have like kind of a leads pools that give to you. You need to find your own leads. Okay? Then I collect their data from 2015 to 2021, and they count. Okay, so on x-axis, I count the days since a salesperson joined the company. Okay, vary from 15 to 90 days. And the y-axis, I count, okay, the proportion of the new salespeople who have not made a first sale. That's no successful sale since I joined this company. Then let's look at up to 90 days, around 3 months, right? Almost 70% of the salespeople, they have never made any sales. So this is a B2C industry. Okay, oh my God, so this is a big problem for the salespeople, of course. It's also a problem for the company. When I started this research with the CEO told me is that the first implication, of course, if I cannot make a sale as a salesperson, what I can do, I can only quit this job. Then it causes, on average, a high turnover rate in company with sales, right? And second, the problem is that, okay, you leave, but we onboard you, we train you. It's a high cost for us from the company's perspective. Then, at that time, when we started, what's in my mind? Okay, lots of cool things about machine learning. That's what I learned about MIT. On the other hand, when you go to the company, they struggle salespeople. They want to have some help. Then my question, okay, any ways that I can do using machine learning, then helping these salespeople. Then what's our proposed solution? We think a deep learning-based recommender system can help these salespeople to identify customer types with higher conversion potential. Okay, so let me go to more. Maybe you think, why you think this solution? So first, I did lots of interviews with the salespeople in the company. what I found is that when they think about, when the new salespeople, we might think product is the key challenge. But for them, no. So this is an insurance company. Basically, they have some standard products that you can do. It's not a big problem. The big problem is that if it's a new salespeople, for example, working in this room, around probably 50 audience, who should I get started? I don't know, I don't have any experience. Who should I invest time, invest my effort? I don't know. That the challenge for them is that I need some help in judging the customer conversion potential. Okay, that's first. Second, I think in this slide, I didn't have that, the figure we find in the data that the match is very important. But overall, based on interview, based on literature, based on the data, we find, okay, this is also a match problem. That is, no single salespeople can serve all customers, or maybe all customer type can satisfy all salespeople. Basically, you will find that some salespeople, they probably can get along well with female, and some they can get along with male. It's basically saying, okay, as long as you find your right customer types, you probably can do a good job. Match important. Third, probably you want to ask, deep learning sounds a cool word, Yuting. Why is that? So then the idea is that, okay, we can have many data forms now in the firm, right? Probably text data, facial data, that's what we use, and also voice data is a kind of unstructured data. Data form can be complex. And also, when we talk about this match relationship, it's also unknown. Then it can be complex, can be high dimensional. So then it leads to deep learning-based recommender system. What is the recommend? Customer types. Okay? Next, let's move to the kind of the method. I want to make it as simple as possible so that probably after you leave this room, at least understand what's the recommender system. It's very easy. So now we can just draw a table, okay? And the row, we just list the user of this recommender system. So here the user is the salespeople, right? And then on the column, right, then you can list down the things that you want to recommend. Here, we want to recommend a customer type. Okay, what is a customer type? Let me give you one example. So probably you can give the salespeople some recommendation. Maybe a female who is married, about 40 years old, who works in the tech industry, who probably want to insure herself, is the best match for you. Give you information, give you some example about customer types. Okay, then next thing, then what's the input to this kind of machine learning or recommender system? It's easy. Now you have the data, right? The transaction data, past transaction data. Then you can use the past transaction data to summarize for each salesperson, customer type, what's the sales revenue. Here we use the daily sales revenue to reflect the sales potential. Okay? That's also easy doing. Then what's the output you want from this recommender system? It will be, okay, now there is one new salesperson enters. I have some information that I want to ask. What's the sales revenue, daily sales revenue on each customer type? Once I know that, then I know which customer type to recommend. Good? Okay, so now the question is that, so we have some academia friends here, then what's the kind of the method contribution here? We look at this table, there are some, we now call it empty cells here, right? What's the meaning? It means that basically, when we construct data, it means that no transactions have been found in the data between this salesperson and this customer type. That's basically the meaning. I look at this table and I think, okay, this means that I look at the literature, what's the way we should do it? One standard practice is that, well, you don't observe that, it's missing data. Let's extract from the model training, let's just use the data we have now to train the model. Is it correct? Our view is kind of, maybe these cells contain some information. What's the information? I will mention more, but at least we say, okay, maybe we should include them in the training, and also, because I also study lots of economics, so I was saying, it's not just included, I want to include it in a kind of economic or theoretically meaningful way. Okay, so then how did that missing? It's probably that this salesperson, I tried this customer type, but I failed. Or maybe this salesperson just intentionally chose, I don't want to serve this customer type at all. But anyway, it's probably carry some information about, if we think in the most simple way, it probably means that the cost of selling for this customer type is higher than the gain. Here the cost can be like effort cost, time cost, opportunity cost, the gain probably the commission, which is known in our setting, and also maybe some psychological gain. But anyway, so methodology speaking, then we aim to develop some augmented recommender system, then to account for this missing by choice sales, then in this deep learning based recommender system. Okay, so next, more about this business, because I want to show you some practical implication figures. As I mentioned, it's an insurance company. It focuses on life insurance, and it serves the low and mid-tier markets in mainland China. So compensation, very standard, a base salary, and a fixed percentage of the sales revenue. And interestingly, in China, it's under very strict government regulation. Means that you can think it doesn't change in these years because it's super hard to change. Variables, that is the data we have. We have all the sales records. We have the customer information, which is legally to collect, and also the salesperson information. Also, we explore whether they want to use this kind of recommender system. Okay, I want to use 2 slides for our academic audience. So to explain, okay, then when you account, what's your view? Because I don't want to use any math here to ruin any of our industry friends' moves on Saturday morning. Okay, so the idea is very simple. We just first develop a parsimonious model to capture these missing by choice sales records. That's from economics. And then we want the neural networks. My view of the neural networks is still by some constructions. It's not like just you randomly write something and then run it. You have some structure. Then let this structure to mimic this economic model. That's the idea. Then this figure just shows this idea. So we use the hidden layers to capture the latent sales in our model, and then we do some adjustments using the sales generation process. Okay, enough boring stuff. Let's move back to practical value. So then we use this data. We show, okay, now you think you have the recommender system, you have that. Maybe, I don't know how you think about the initial figure, right? It sounds an important issue for the company. Then we do 2 things. We first simulate whether our recommender systems help the new salespeople make their first sale. And second, we simulate some aggregation implications. Let me walk you through. So first, the benchmark. The issue is that we don't know, in reality, what's the search process for salespeople. So here I do a very simple approximation that I assume they just randomly chose a customer search at each time. That is a random search. Okay, then in the benchmark, it means I random chose one, then I count whether first success and others with our recommender system, you have some guided search, okay? This is results. So random search is the benchmark. Our method is the number of failures. Then the number is the number of failures before the first sales. We can reduce it a lot, okay? So this is also true for the new salespeople. You might question, Yuting, I don't like this random search assumption. So then we look back to the initial figure, and then we do a back of envelope analysis so that we can get the pace of your sales. So that, okay, now the actual data is exactly what we observed, and we use the sales of pace from this actual data, and then use our recommender system to do the simulation. We saw our method, the proportion of the new salespeople who have not made the first sale. And we can see there is a big decrease. Okay, more thing is that then you wonder, okay, this is insurance, probably a specific company. What's the other setting that I can imagine for this recommender system? First, it needs to some match. Otherwise, why recommender system, right? Second, probably you have some historical records are missing by choice. And other examples, I have like the department scores, the sales, again, a 2C setting. And even when the firms allocate their prospects, as long as there's some missing by choice sales records, you can use that. Okay, Lastly, I want to show you some, because the firm has deployed this recommender system, I want to show you this productization stuff. So we kind of embed this recommender system into the company's HR management app. And we achieve the recommendation just through chatbots. So this is the front page of this, this is a Chinese company, so the front page of their HR app. Here we embed one banner saying that AI prediction of customer purchase, who may be your next customer. And once you click, you lead into this page, and then says, then prediction, some introduction, you click enter, then you move to the next page. This is the chatbot. In this chatbot, first give you some welcome message, and then give you a brief introduction, like the goal of this recommender system, and a brief idea of the algorithm. I don't know, we are still discussing whether it's a good idea, because I will show the adoption rate now is around 1/3. We don't know whether it's good, we should have an education seminar, or like you just reading this, then the salespeople can understand, because we have many algorithms. I think we will have one today about the algorithm adoption. So when the salespeople see that, if I don't understand, then probably they don't want to adopt. Anyway, so, and also, we also ask them to confirm the information used in the recommender system. And then you confirm, and then you confirm query, and then we display the recommended customer purchase to you. Okay, so two things. One is just shows that I think there is a big room for the machine learning and Salesforce management. I think it's not just for 2C company and also for 2B companies. I can see there are lots of opportunities. And also, in terms of method, we show one way to combine the marketing domain series and machine learning. Okay, that's all. Thank you.